Hey, what's up, Chris? Quick demo video for you for your Jedi killer by Phoenix Props. Just got this done, man. I've been working on this all day and finally just wrapped it up, and then I put it on the charger for a little bit so that I could do this demo. I just finished one of these about 2 days ago, and so on that first one I used Rob's chassis for a removable battery, but on this one you gave me the chassis. This one was made by South Shore Sabers. It has a static battery with a recharge port here in the pommel, and it takes a 24mm Smuggler's Outpost speaker. That's what you've got in here. And then of course you got your crystal chamber light up. You've got your CCSabers in there for your main pixel. Because I didn't do a removable system in here, I was able to wire in your crystal chamber separately from your blade. So there's a few fonts that I kind of mixed it up a little bit. Some of them I'll have the crystal on while the blade is off. Some of them I'll have going unstable. And then I just tried to mix it up a little bit so that you could have a little bit of everything and just see what you like. I did put a copy of your config file on your SD card. I'm not gonna open this guy up because it took a lot to get this handle on. The chassis, and it's not the chassis' fault. It's the nature of the Saber. There's not a lot of room in this guy to do anything. I mean, your wire management has to be on point, and even when it's on point, man, I mean, it's just hard to get everything in here, right? So I did something I don't typically do, which is I had to take a piece of heat tape and I put it over the back of the board where the solder pads are, because I didn't want them coming into contact with the inside of this hilt. I was afraid that might happen. So I do have a piece of heat tape over the back of the board, not the front though. The overall board is held in onto the chassis with a piece of art tape, and the chassis had a place on there to accommodate that. So you know, he was thinking about that when you know, when he designed the chassis. But I put the handle on, screwed it on. I was very careful when I was putting everything on to make sure it slid in right, locked it down, and then I put your red wire on. I did put the red wire on this guy because it's not going to get in the way of you know, getting the battery out or anything like that. So I went back and I did as best I could to put your red wire back. I did have to take some of these little these U-shaped pieces that hold the wire on that are down in the handle. I had to shave them down a bit because they were going and contacting the chassis. I didn't want that to happen, so chop those down. I did not glue them though. I press fitted them you know, right back in the way they were before. I'm not sure if you had them glued on before. I don't think so, but they all pulled out pretty nice. But they're all nice press fit in there. I did not glue down this top piece for your switches. I just, you know, I wanted you to be able to get to that if, you know, just in case you needed to. I put a little bit of E6000 on there. I had to use my own switches for this guy because you didn't have any that you sent me. On the last one, on the last Jedi killer I just did a couple days ago, it came with 3 switches. I had switches that were close to that, but they were just a tiny bit taller. So I chose not to glue this down because those buttons are just, their height is just a little bit taller than the last set I used, but they work fine. To get to the recharge port, what you want to do is just want to unscrew this guy right here. I kind of cut the top off my recharge port a little bit so that it would fit in this pommel fine. It's not the prettiest thing in the world, but you don't see it unless you take this off. There it is right there. I have a standard kill key that I print out, same for everything, and then that one I just wanted to make this one fit in here with no issue, which, you know, looking at it now, I probably could have left it, but I just chose to go on the side of caution. So you come in here and pull it out with your finger.
The dark side of the Force is a pathway to many abilities some consider to be unnatural.
We'll screw this back on. Now I made your top switch here your activation switch, and then your bottom is your auxiliary. But you do have motion controls. When you hit the auxiliary, when you, I'm gonna turn this off real quick. Twist off. when you go to hit these buttons, you're going to want to hit them close to the middle. Don't try to press them out here. That's not going to do it. You got to hit them close to the middle. Just like that's your activation. Tap it to turn it off. Hold it down for a second and let go to get to your music track. And then do that again to turn it off. Just like that. And we'll throw a blade in. So it does take a 1-inch blade. Hopefully you have that. I brought a full-length blade out here. I'm getting ready to send this guy off. Actually, I'll go back down to a test blade until I can find time to make another one. So we got our blade locked in. Nice unstable blade, unstable crystal. Come over here to our auxiliary. I'm gonna tap it with my finger. You got battle mode, twist off. So when you hit the saber, you initiate blade lockup. You can see it about right there. So, and it'll stay like that until you pull away from it, just like that. And we'll twist off, and then hit auxiliary to go to our next sound font. Kylo. I gave you a different unstable blade for this guy. Go to the next one. This is the Grumpy Ben, right? That's your blade lock up. Matching crystal. And then I left that one on even when the blade is off. I just thought it looked cool. And we'll go to the next one. This is your battery meter. That's about where the battery's at. So it needs to be charged. And the reason you have that twice is I just made that sound font the battery meter. So now we're back to the very beginning. And this has kind of a heartbeat in the crystal. I just thought that was cool. And then it goes like that when the blade is on. Go to the next one. I left that one just on. And then it's the solid one while your blade is unstable. And then this one stays on as well. I kind of like that. So you just kind of get that animation even when you don't fire this guy up. Now we're back to the tragedy. And we'll turn it off. Whoops. Just like that. And we'll take the blade out. So, as you can see, everything's working, it's working really well on this guy. Let me take this blade out so we can talk. slide out like that. I'll make sure your blade plug is back in here, the one that you provided me. It fits in there perfect. It lines up perfect just like it did before, and it lights up well. The whole 3/4 of the back of that guy is just acrylic, so you don't have to worry about it touching the pins. It's fine. And then when we're done, we just kind of come back over here and twist this off. And we'll throw our kill key in. So if I turn this on, right, I'll throw our kill key in. Cuts the power and you're good to go. Let me know if you got any questions. If not, I will try to get this out in the mail to you tomorrow. All right, thanks, man.